And welcome back to the Golf Dudes podcast. We are excited to be joined by the newly minted head coach of the Bryant women's golf team, Angel MacLeod. Angel, thanks so much for taking a few minutes. I know it's been a whirlwind few days for you, to say the least, but thanks for taking a few minutes to talk to me today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you reaching out.
Absolutely. To start with, it's been a pretty boring summer for you. I would say you've won the Wannamoisa Club Championship, which anytime you win anything in Wannamoisa is something. And I think that's your fourth one, if I'm not mistaken. And then you also won the Women's Senior Amateur at my club, Kirkbright, and back in August. And now you're the new head coach at Bryant. So, I mean, is there anything else coming down the pike that we should be aware of? I mean, pretty stuff.
Yeah, no, it should be pretty low key. The rest, I usually peak in November, so come see me then.
So congrats on the new gig. I know you were telling me off the air that you kind of accepted the job on Thursday, but what has this process been like? Obviously, Bryant announced it on Monday evening. I would say we're taping this on Tuesday. GolfNewsRI had an article up Tuesday morning. But what has this process been like? I mean, obviously, kind of a wild couple of days for you, but what has it been like the last few days here?
Just kind of a lot of emotions going on, because I still coach at the Bishop Feehan, where I started a girls team. And then, I had to tell them that I will be finishing out the boys season this fall. And it's just, trying to do both. It's just been a lot of emotions because, Feehan's been great to me. They've been, and it's just, I'm excited for the new chapter, and I'm excited for the girls at Bryant, and it should be a fun time.
And you're joining a great team of golf coaches with Charlie Blanchard and Rick Angeli and the men's side of Bryant, and obviously you're taking over the women's side. Bishop Feehan, you took over that school. You built the program literally from the ground up, especially on the girls' side. They won the state championship in your first year. You talked about it a little bit, but was obviously you always want to take the bigger job. You want to move up. Obviously, that's everyone's goal. But what was that decision like? I mean, was that a tough choice to decide to go to the college level? Was there anything keeping you from staying at? Was it anything that you wanted to stay at Feehan for? And what was that whole decision process like?
I just think it was a great opportunity for me to take the leap of faith and go to Bryant. It's just it's something I've always wanted to do, and coach at the college level. So I was an assistant at Brown for a little while, and I kind of got my feet wet with that a little bit, and I really enjoyed it. Took a few years off, obviously had my kids and did that sort of stuff, and then the Feehan job became available. And so I got that, and then we grew that program in 2 short years. The boys team going from just a varsity team to a varsity and JV team, and then building the girls program. And then we were very fortunate in winning the championship this year, and they did great. And I feel like I could help other girls too as well, and hopefully bring my winning ways to Bryant and help those girls win a championship as well.
And you take over a Bryant team, and again, I know you literally just took over the team, so we're not going to get too far into the weeds. But you take over a Bryant women's team that literally just started, I believe, in the prior to the 2022 season, if I'm not mistaken. So you have a great opportunity to kind of build them up, which is something, like you said, you just did at Bishop Feehan. Is there any similarities that you can, any experience that you can take from Feehan to Bryant as far as kind of building a program? I know it's high school and college, it's not apples to apples, but is there anything you can take coming from that experience to now a women's golf team at Bryant, where you're essentially building it from the ground up as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You the same building blocks. You want to build a lot of confidence in the girls, a lot of team building aspects. I'm a big proponent of the short game, chipping and putting, and you got to build those. And I feel team building is probably most important, because everybody's going to have a bad day, and how your teammates react to your bad day help build you up will only make you better. And I feel like if everybody has each other's back, I feel like that'll be a better result the following day.
Yeah, it's always, I always find it interesting about building programs, right? In any sport. And prior to the GolfNewsRI, I covered the Patriots and Division I college basketball and everything. I always just found it interesting, the whole team building, and obviously in golf is a little bit different because golf is such an individual sport. But I always find that process interesting. So it's just fun to hear coaches, yourself or others, just talk about kind of that process of building, and for you taking over a new program is going to be quite, it's going to be, it could be, it should be quite interesting, to say the least, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think team building is big in golf because it's not like you said, golf is an individual sport. You don't have anybody else to rely on. It's all about you when you're out there. You hit that bad shot into the woods, you hit that ball into the water or the hazard or whatever it happens to be. So it's good when your teammates are around you after your round and you say, "Oh, I really struggled today." And you need your teammates to pick you up and say, "Hey, you know what? We got this tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a better day." Um, and like I always said to my Feehan girls, I've always said, today's a great day to have a great day. Um, and I live by that motto too. I mean, every day is different. You can choose set. I mean, you play golf. You can choose 75 one day and then 90 the next. I mean, it happens. I mean, happens to everybody, and it's just how you react to that, and how you recover, makes you better. So
Well, I've never shot 75 on any day, but I shot playing 90, so I got that going. Um, maybe a net 75. Uh, you're a great player in your own right. As I mentioned, won a Oyster Club champ. You won the senior amateur at Kirkbray just last month in August. For you, when did you get the golf bug? When did golf start for you? What's your kind of golf journey?
I got the golf bug when I was young. My dad introduced me to the game probably when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I wanted to go to the golf course, wanted to ride in the cart just like any other kid, get an ice cream at the turn or whatever it happened to be. And then from there, I just, grew and loved the game just like everybody else does. Most of the time it's your dad that gets you started, and it was bittersweet, winning the women's senior am because my dad had passed 2 weeks prior, so he would have been very proud.
That's unbelievable. Amazing how that works. A
Absolutely.
great performance in the senior am at Kirkbride, obviously, and then the Wine Oyster Women's Club Championship is no joke either. Um,
A lot of tough competition there. Yeah.
so from your what when you're coaching, do you take your own playing experiences and kind of use that as kind of a, I don't know if a guide is the right word, but how do you use your own playing experiences in the coaching ranks? Does it carry over or not really?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you never give up. Perfect example. I was 3 down through 4 holes in that senior match. And I battled back, and I said to myself, and I actually had one of my teammates, one of my girls on my team were there, and I said, plenty of holes left. I said, I just take this in 3 hole segments. I win one hole every 3 holes, and I'm back in this. I'm back in this match. And slowly but surely, dug my way out of that hole. And you know, Melissa's a great player, and it was I. That's how you just never give up. You never give up.
Yeah, as I say, it's not over until not over till it's over. Um,
Exactly.
so you just took over. What's the first couple things you're trying to do at Bryant? Obviously, learning the girls and getting that all squared away. But what are these first few days now going to be like? Now it's official. These first few days or week going to be like now?
We're going to be doing some practicing. Unfortunately, the weather doesn't, it hasn't been that great. So probably do a lot of range work. And when weather permits, hopefully get on the golf course this weekend, to stop playing some golf and doing some qualifiers, and getting ready for the tournament at Navy at the end of the month.
And that's the only thing as far as you know right now. Only thing on your schedule right now for the women's golf team is Navy. They haven't released their schedule yet.
That's
Obviously.
correct.
So you have Navy at the end of the month. So you have to get ready for. But that's great. Exciting for the women's golf team. It was exciting that Bryant added a women's golf team a couple of years ago. Again, or prior to last year, whatever it was. I always ask this question, so I'm fascinated by it. I think, covering Ryland golf for the last few years, I think it's been at an all-time high. I think we're in a unique time in golf in Rhode Island, just with all the players, your daughter included, playing in Merrimack and others, boys and girls playing across the country, basically. Guys going pro, and Davis and Patrick.
Yeah.
What can you say about? I mean, and you follow it closely, obviously. Now you're even closer. But what can you say about the state of golf in Rhode Island? Again, I think it's in a unique. I don't know if we've ever had a period quite like this. I could be wrong, but the state of golf in Rhode Island right now.
No, I think it's fantastic. I think, and honestly, I think COVID has had a lot to do with it. And I've even noticed on my Feehan, the boys team, I had over 50 boys try out for the team this year. I think a lot of kids are dropping football because their parents are afraid of the injuries, and I can't say I blame them. I don't want my son playing football either. So I feel like golf is at an all-time high. COVID was one of the things that you could do, during COVID. So I think, and it's unfortunate that all these golf courses are closing, with Metacomet and, and a few others. It's just Rehoboth, and it's just, you feel, now all these other golf courses are overcrowded, and I think it's a great problem to have. I love junior golf. I wish there was more of it. Dave at the Challenge Cup does a great job with, running junior events. He has, over 200 kids in some of these events. It's phenomenal. These kids come from all over. It's amazing. I love it. I love seeing the junior golf, and I hope it continues to grow. And I hope some of these golf courses can support the junior golf, and step up, hold an event. I mean, the Rhode Island Junior Amateur was at, a couple of different places in the last couple of years, so hopefully maybe someplace can step up and host and hold it for all 5 days. And they have more than one flight, get everybody involved.
And hopefully one day we get to a spot where the women's amateur, the first 3 seeds don't have buys into the provisions of the first round. And
yeah, that too.
And hopefully they can fill that out too. I thought it was big that they changed the senior women's amateur, again, that you won, to a match play format as opposed to a stroke play. As I know, there's potential USJ implications in the future. I'm wondering if maybe they'll do that for the men's senior amateur down the road as well. I don't know if that's in the works or not, so I could be completely wrong, but maybe that'd be something to do as well. Because I think match play, one, it's easier for me to cover, right? It's easier to follow a match than it is to try to walk around and cover 10 guys in a stroke play event. So I prefer the matches selfishly, but it'll be interesting to see if they do that as well. So I know it's been a busy week for you. It's going to be a busy week going forward. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes. I really appreciate it. Good luck this season. And as I said to everybody, I'm trying to cover college golf and build it here in Rhode Island a little bit as far as the following. So anything I can do or any news you have, just shoot me a message and I'll have something up, or we do a podcast again, or whatever works. Thanks so much for taking some time.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
All right.
That's Angel MacLeod, the new Bryant women's golf head coach, named on Monday, and we thank her for coming on. We'll be right back on the Golf Dudes podcast.